Greetings, mate. When you're about to cook dinner or just came back from the street, you feel the urge to wash your hands. And you're sure this is a natural thing people have been doing forever. Orongo bongo, it wasn't until the middle of the 19th century. It's Frankie Bacon's Fried Facts. I'm going to tell you about a man who taught humanity how to wash hands. This story has drama, friendship, mystery, suffering, and everything Adam Sandler's career doesn't. Let's begin with the procedure of hand washing. Soap was invented a long time ago. Ancient Egyptians used lard from geese to cook soap. You met me at a very strange time in my life. Ancient Jewish culture brought us the idiom to wash hands, meaning step aside from any kind of responsibility. It was used for the first time in the Gospel of Matthew when Pontius Pilate performed an act of hand washing right after the trial of Jesus. Pilate, did you just kill the Son of God? Nope, just washing hands here. But you didn't prevent his murder? Dude, again, just washing my hands. So you did support the killing of God's Son. That's it, I'm just washing my hands. Rome is your problem now. Washing hands was a religious ritual. People washed hands rarely, even doctors did it, mostly to wash off the blood, until Hungarian physician and scientist Ignaz Philipp Semmelweis changed the game. In 1846, he was appointed as an assistant to professor in the first obstetrical clinic of the Vienna General Hospital. There was also a second clinic. And here's the exciting part. The second clinic had a small child mortality rate around 3%, whereas in the first one, almost half newborns were dying. Mothers were dying too. Childbed fever killed more women than smallpox and cholera. The first clinic was a place to keep away from. Getting there almost meant you're dead. Women gave birth in the street just to avoid this horrible institution. There's a woman giving birth. Somebody call a doctor. Shut it. You trying to get me killed? Just mind your business, okay? Semmelweis tried to figure out why the mortality rate was so different when the methods were the same. Until 1847, when his friend Jacob Kolechka died because he was accidentally poked with a student's scalpel while performing an autopsy. Ouch! Sorry. That's okay, just a scratch. Dude, it's 19th century. Every scratch is deadly. Jacob died from sepsis, but Semmelweis noticed that his symptoms were identical to dead women diagnosed with childbed fever, and that's how he understood that childbed fever was caused by cadaver contamination. The reason it appeared so often was that doctors and students performed autopsies, rinsed their hands, and went upstairs to examine pregnant women. Touched a dead body, touched a pregnant lady too. Semmelweis persuaded doctors and students from the first clinic to wash hands using a solution of chlorinated lime. And guess what? The mortality rate declined by 90%. You're probably thinking, ooh, this guy just made a huge breakthrough. Now everybody will wash their hands. Dude, still 19th century. Any major breakthroughs make you an enemy. And that is exactly what happened. Semmelweis sent letters about the benefits of washing hands to all major hospitals. Almost everyone ignored him. Furthermore, some enemies appeared. I mean, just think about it. Doctors with education and more than 30 years of practice are sure that washing hands after an autopsy is bullshit. Okay, it's not entirely true. They washed hands with soap, but that's not enough. A special method of hand washing is required to kill germs. Semmelweis created a 15-minute-long procedure. Suddenly, his old mentor and professor opposed Semmelweis because this new hand-washing thing could be a problem for his retirement. Semmelweis's ideas conflicted with established medical opinions at the time, so many eminent doctors accused Semmelweis of quackery and incompetence. Nevertheless, some hospitals were smart enough to apply the hand-washing method. Obviously, the death rate declined. Semmelweis was appointed Docent of Theoretical Obstetrics in Vienna. That meant he couldn't perform operations and had no access to real bodies for educational purposes. This position was more of a mockery. He left Vienna and the medical establishment stopped mentioning him in their publications. His depression progressed. Semmelweis began writing angry and hateful letters to all colleagues who rejected his method. People noticed that he was slowly going mad. He turned to booze, prostitutes, and spent money like a trap star kid. Long story short, he completely Van Gogh'd. In 1865, he decided to go south for a vacation. His wife and his friend, a psychiatrist, lured him to a Viennese insane asylum. He spent a few days there and died. The autopsy shows he was beaten to death. And now you're probably thinking, God, what a horrible story, but 19th century, just another Tuesday. Thanks to Semmelweis, nowadays billions of lives are saved with a simple hand washing. Also, soap smells nice. In 1991, a term Semmelweis reflex was introduced. It means reflex rejection of new knowledge because it contradicts entrenched norms, beliefs, or paradigms. So every time a surgeon washes his hands before an operation, thank Ignaz Semmelweis. By the way, here's how the WHO recommends washing hands.
Wet hands with water and apply enough soap to cover all surfaces of the hands. Let the water run smoothly to avoid touching the tap later on. Rub hands palm to palm to obtain a good quantity of foam. Then rub right palm over the back of left hand with interlaced fingers, and vice versa. Rub again palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked, repeating this action for each hand. Rub rotationally left thumb clasped in right palm, and vice versa. To clean the tips of the fingers, rub rotationally backwards and forwards with clasped fingers of right hand in left palm, and vice versa. Rinse hands thoroughly with running water. Dry hands thoroughly with a single-use towel. If the tap is not elbow-operated, use this towel to turn off the tap without touching it directly. Your hands are now clean and safe.